No hat. I'm hoping you're digging it because I got a new haircut, so I'm not wearing the hat today. But last September I reviewed a fragrance from the house of Eastwest bottlers called Moonshine Reserve. So fast forward to today, I have another review for a fragrance from this house called Sportsman. This one right here. Well, in this South Bond review video, we're going to review Sportsman, and you're going to have a chance at winning a full bottle if you are a subscriber of this channel from the USA. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into the channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, and of course participating in giveaways and still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So Eastwest Bottlers is a USA-based house that has fragrances, and I feel like their fragrances kind of, I guess, inspired from the classics, because the fragrances I have reviewed now, the two, come in a splash bottle, and it really does hint at fragrances when I was growing up and stealing from my dad to spray or splash, because this is a splash, and this actually really reminds me of my dad's Polo bottle, which was also a splash back in 1980, like a long time ago. Green color here, and it just kind of like hints at classic perfumes. Now this was sent to me for this review, but I specifically requested it because I really love the idea of this fragrance. I love the bottle. As you can see, it's almost like a little a liqueur or whiskey flask, but it's a perfume or fragrance or cologne in this case. I'm gonna tell you all about this one because I think you're gonna like it, especially if you like those masculine fragrances that are like inspired by fragrances from the past, but very, very modern. So this is Eastwest Bottlers Sportsman. Launch year is 2019. Perfumer is Caroline de Boutiny. I don't know anything about this perfumer, sadly, but what she's created is quite lovely. I want to show you a little bit about how the fragrance is delivered to you when you purchase it. It is in a pouch like this. Very rugged, and it reminds me of fragrances in the 80s that I was actually starting to use. It comes in a box like this. The fragrance fits inside, and you put that all in there, and then this goes in like there, and then it gets sealed up like this. So this is how you would receive this fragrance. Now, as far as wearing it, I remember using splash bottles quite frequently. I used to steal splash bottles, like, of course, Polo, but a few other fragrances. I think Aromatic came in splash for my dad when he used it. Also Chaps, he used Chaps fragrance at some point, and I was stealing splashes of that fragrance as well. So with this one, you can simply go like this, and then splash it, and then do that. Or if you want, you can get yourself a little atomizer like this and get a pipette, and you can actually fill it up like this, so that with the atomizer you can actually spray it and experience it in a spray form, especially if you're traveling or something and you don't want to take this fragrance along with you. Then you have it as a spray, and this is much more easier to travel with. So what do we have for the notes in Eastwest Bottler Sportsman? So what we have are leather, pine, musk, flint stone. It's a form of mineral quartz. It's very chalky, and then red clay. So those are the only notes that are credited for this fragrance, and in fact you actually experience a lot of them, truly. For me, this is mostly a very, very fresh and aromatic, piney leather fragrance. So it smells very, very outdoorsy. It's perfect for the guy that doesn't mind going out and doing, outdoorsy types of activities, whether it's like building and gardening or fishing and all that kind of stuff, and then has like an office kind of a job where you're working interiors and you're working, kind of like a white collar type of a job. So it's for that kind of a person. I visualize that with this fragrance, because it's very, very heavy on the leather, but it's a leather that's slightly animalic, not overly animalic. You just pick up a little bit of slight, like really, really light touches of animalic leather there, but it's mostly a very, very nice manly, masculine leather. Now the pine note in here is very, very prominent. In fact, I think the pine note and the leather note are kind of like neck and neck, and is how much they are in the fragrance. They're almost like equal players, and you get a really, really nice green pine note. In fact, the bottle color sort of matches it. I think I'm experiencing pine, which is a lot darker green, but I think in order for this bottle to stand out, they made it a nice, beautiful, almost fluorescent green color. But for me, what I get from this is more of a darker green experience from the pine note. You also get a nice ample amount of musk in here. It's very musky, and that kind of adds and accentuates the leather and pine notes and makes it a little more masculine and a little bit of sexiness as well. Now, there are two notes that are in here that I had to really do some research on. So Flint stone is a note that I have never experienced in a fragrance, and it's, as I said, is a form of mineral quartz. It's chalky, and then red clay is also, you know, chalky. The fragrance wearing experience does have this kind of like muted quality to it, and I'm assuming it's from the little amounts of flintstone and red clay note that's in here. So in other words, when you look at a fragrance and you're wearing it, you can't see through it. It's kind of like dense, and I think it's created from these two notes, the flintstone note and the red clay note. Now, it's not an overly strong fragrance. It's also not a wimp. I know it has great longevity. It doesn't scream too much. It's not one of those fragrances that you can call like beastly or intense, overly strong, or, you know, with massive clouds and things like that. But I think it's a sort of subdued, but sort of loud at the same time. It's just one of those fragrances, as I said, you can wear it indoors, you can wear it outdoors, you can wear it during the day, you can wear it at night. It's that kind of a fragrance. Again, for me, I don't do much splash usage anymore. I prefer spray bottles, but as I said, you can decant it quickly, rather quickly, with a pipette, and then you can have a spray to go along with you. So those are my thoughts about Sportsman. I think it's a great deal. It smells great. If you like leather and you also like pine and musk, you must check out Sportsman, because I think it's a great scent. It's great. It works great. It's a signature kind of scent, so it's for the guys that want something to wear day in and day out and be happy with the fragrance or the scent they're wearing. So if you don't know where to go sample Sportsman fragrance from the House of Eastwest Bottlers, we do have a full bottle giveaway, as I said. Head over to Saffler Bond with a link in the info box and go over there and find out how to participate in your chance at winning a full bottle of Sportsman. And then come back here and let me know your thoughts on this fragrance. Are you familiar with this house? Are you familiar with Sportsman? Do you like the idea of this fragrance? And what do you think about the splash bottle, leather, pine, all that good stuff? Let me know. Put some comments down so that I can find out. Other than that, guys, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.